As you touch down at the Kotoka International Airport, we welcome you to our airport lounge in absolute class and elegance, ready to answer all your questions for your stay. For both international and intercity travelers, we bring you to the hotel in style with our 24-hour shuttle service. There's nothing more beautiful than walking into a lobby that feels like home. The charm on the faces of our service staff certainly makes your stay more enjoyable. With over 20 years of hospitality experience, we deliver elegance and excellence with a wide service mix of 101 luxurious rooms, 6 well-equipped conference rooms, and ultra-modern boardroom equipped with video conferencing facilities, the new Sibo restaurant, a famous interactive lunar sky terrace, a private heated swimming pool and pool bar, cafe shop, business center, gift shop, spa, and a gym. With our internationally experienced chefs, we offer you the best in food and beverages. Join our extensive breakfast buffet, which is the most important meal of the day. But don't miss out on our warm lunches to revamp your day.
So if you take a critical look, you'd realize that all the platforms have particular things they are looking out for, true or false. Okay, so what's LinkedIn's purpose? Who knows? Hey, those on LinkedIn, yes, please go on. Okay. Beautiful. So an e-portfolio where you put everything you have done or anything you are doing in terms of professionalism there. Who knows what IG is for? You don't know? Okay, me too, I don't know. Facebook. Facebook. Who is on Facebook? Who is on Facebook? I won't ask you. Who is on Facebook? Okay, Auntie Amma, why are you on Facebook? What do you use Facebook for? For discussions. Okay. Now IG. Aniela, very active on IG. What do you use IG for? Beautiful. So when you look at all of this, all the platforms, right, they have tailored media that they use. For example, if you look at TikTok, TikTok is mostly videos, right? Videos with sound or videos without sound, like mostly videos. Then Instagram is videos, pictures. LinkedIn are more of writings than videos, more of writings than pictures. What again? WhatsApp. WhatsApp is for direct messages and then group chats. There's Telegram too, same thing as WhatsApp. Now, for you to stand out, you need to give the platform what it needs to put your name out there. For example, if it's about LinkedIn, then you need to write more so that people will see that you are doing this. Maybe sometimes let it be accompanied by a picture or a video, but there should be a write-up describing what exactly is in the video, because people on the platform are looking at reading or seeing what you are doing in terms of professionalism. So you can't go and do a TikTok video that you are dancing and put it on LinkedIn. True or false? Exactly. And for young people like us, many of us haven't done anything major in terms of our career, and that's okay. You are just sharing what you do as a student. It could be personal growth. It could be a book you are reading. Your opinion matters. That's what a lot of people don't know. What you read, somebody hasn't read it yet. So the minute you put it out there, the person will read it and the person will also know because you have put it out there. So it doesn't have to be something major. You could just possibly like see somebody, give the person a gift or volunteer for an activity, and then you write about it, how the activity made you feel like. That is you building yourself, because again, you are young, new in the career, you don't have any experience to share. And it is very important for you to leverage on all of these social media platforms because, number one, I know you, but you don't know everybody that I know. You know me, but you don't know everybody that I know. And now the world is a global space. Unless you put yourself out there, people who haven't met you in person would never know about you. But if you have an account and you're constantly updating it, keeping people posted on your status, everything that you do, not like everything in terms of personal things, but at least the things that you want people to know about you, you're putting it there, then it means that before somebody meets you, the person has a fair idea of who you are, what you do, how to help you if they want to help you, or how you can help them if they need your help. Does it make sense? So you need to be able to decide what things you put on where. You need to be able to follow trends. And when I say trends, it's not the trends that because everybody is doing it, you are doing it. No. So for example, TikTok has like those dance trends that come once in a while. When you jump on it, you are able to probably get a lot more views. Yeah. So when you do a TikTok video, you can use the music on a picture or on another video that does not necessarily have to do the dance skills. Does it make sense? So if you're following trends and you're not somebody who would like to be known as a dancer or as maybe a content creator who fools or jokes a lot, you can still tailor it. You can still tailor it to suit you. You can use the sound, but it could be something that's still professional or still something that talks about you and your personhood, even though you are jumping on the trends. So you need to be authentic about it. It's not because everybody is doing it, you will do it. But you need to do something to also put yourself out there. So you decide what you want to do, and you make sure that everything that you are doing is a reflection of who you are in person. Remember, social media is an extension of the life that you live. For the people that don't know you yet, or the people who don't know what exactly you're about, does it make sense? So for example, I'm just going to give you a couple of content you can post on LinkedIn as young people like myself. When you meet a big person and you're able to talk to the big person for a very long time, not just take a picture, because that one, there's nothing inside. I'm not sure the big person will remember you after you just take a picture and then walk away, right? So if you're able to have like very in-depth conversations and you learn a thing or two from him or her, you could post about it and tag them and appreciate them for sharing those nuggets with you. Does it make sense? Okay. When you come for a program like this, it's very important. You have to post about it and use the hashtags, because you will learn something that nobody out there will know, especially for today. Even if they'll hear about it, they'll probably hear from you or some other time. So when you post about it, then there's the visibility of, oh, I came for Obaasima. Obaasima exists, and I learned this and that during the orientation and the seminar. Does it make sense? Now, when you're reading a book, I've already stated that you could share insights from the book, because a lot of people want to read, but they don't make time to read. So when you share a few nuggets, they pick it up. When people don't comment on your post, that's not your headache. You are sharing what you want to share. When they don't like it, that's not your headache, because you are not selling. You are only supposed to be bothered if you are looking for customers or a market, right? But if you are not looking for a market, you are sharing what you do and you are letting people know who you are. You will get tailored people who will follow your trends. Does it make sense? I'm not so very active on TikTok, so I can't talk more about TikTok. Then we'll go to Instagram. Instagram is more of like a social vibe thing, right? When you go out, parties, all of that, you can decide to be on Instagram. It doesn't matter. I can decide not to be there. I'm not really bothered about it. I've lost my account. I don't even know the password. But it's very important that you are on LinkedIn, because number one, you are now growing. Number two, you need people, right? People above you, people below you, and people who are on the same level as you. And that's the only place you'll be able to connect with those people without necessarily having to meet them first. And before you meet them, they would have a perception of you because of what you post daily. So if you are not on LinkedIn today, from here, you should be able to create an account, right? And start posting anything. You can even just talk about the things you are interested in and ask people to recommend programs or courses or anything, seminars, webinars that you can join. Does it make sense? You need to put yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, nobody will know you. You see people post, oh, you have a lot of active, it's consistency. You need to be consistent about it too. Does it make sense? So you post valuable content, then you're consistent about it. So maybe you can decide once a month you post. But if I post once a day and you're posting once a month, who is going to get a lot of leads? Me. Because I'm posting once a day. Some people even go on and post like twice a day. But because I'm saying post doesn't mean just post anything rubbish. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So you should really decide what you want to be known for. Just tell people, okay, I'm reading political science. I'm interested in women affairs. So I commit most of my time and energy into doing things about women and for women. You talk about it. Okay, today I went for Obaasima Academy. We learned this, that. You think is very good for young women who are going to learn about self-confidence and self-esteem. So you put it out there. You get a couple of comments. Sometimes you even get a like, but it's fine. You're just sharing what you've learned. Yeah? Then on and on and on and on. So I think this will end my activation. I am hoping to help all of you rebrand like the social media. Sorry guys, I'm not very good with microphones that are now. So I'm going to help you with setting up the social media account, especially LinkedIn, if you don't have a LinkedIn account. All right. So when we finish, just like see me and I'll give you more tips. Thank you very much for listening to me. And the official program is starting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you. That was very educative. I didn't know people had so much knowledge on how to regulate their social media. I mean, more often than not, social media is preaching against. You know, people say, social media is bad, da, 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 da. But today we have learned how useful it can be in our personal development and our growth in general. Please, let's give it up for Linda one more time. Once again, good morning. Obaasima.
Hello.
Obaasima.
Let's continue to hold up the sky. Hey, you people.
Obaasima. Let's continue to hold up the sky. All right, let's continue to indeed hold up the sky. Good morning once again, and welcome to the Obaasima Academy Summit and Orientation. We're supposed to start earlier than this, but because of one or two reasons, and because of the fact that some of you didn't come on time, yes, that's why we are starting at this time. First of all, I'd like to thank you for making your way here and, you know, honoring our invitations, especially our mentors, and also to introduce myself. My name is Ohema Echan Ajikum. I'm with Pan-African Television. Just a little context to who I am. I am a former beauty queen. I also have a background in public health, so I'm a health promotions officer. And I just started with media. I'm testing the waters. I'll continue. But all in all, I'm very grateful to Auntie Amma. Please, let's give it up for Auntie Amma for not, you know, holding back on giving opportunities, you know, like seeing the talents and wanting to harness them into greater things. Please, one more time for Auntie Amma. She's the reason why we are here today. And so moving on, we are going to introduce ourselves. I've introduced myself, and as mentors, they will introduce themselves, and as mentees, we will introduce ourselves as well. But there's one profound saying from an ancient philosopher which lingers in my mind almost every day. It's rhetorical, but it speaks to you as a mentee and as a mentor, as someone who sees the need to inspire people or to, you know, help propel greatness in people. Now, he said, if I am for myself, who will be for me? But if I am not for myself, then who am I? If not now, then when? Do you understand this? Let me take it again. If I am not for myself, I beg your pardon, who will be for me? But if I am for just myself, then who am I? If not now, then when? So as a mentee, it speaks to you. If you are not for yourself, then who will be for you? So the starting point of your greatness is yourself. And as a mentor who has gone through what you are going through now, perhaps, if they are just for themselves and keeping all those experiences and the teachable things to themselves, then who are they? And if not now, where we would have to engage, interact, and exchange, then when? I'm leaving you with this. Answer it. for yourself. But let's move on. I will be passing the mic to, okay, Linda will help me do that. So at this point, we're going to introduce ourselves. So mentees are going to introduce themselves, and we will begin with, you mention your name and what you stand for, or what you would want to be known for.
Hello. So I'm Precious Abna Pukia. I'm a student. I'm reading political science with information studies. And then I'd want to be known for someone who stands for ladies and all, because I just...
We can hear you.
Can you hear me, please? Okay, so I'm Precious Abna Pukia, a political science and information studies student of the University of Ghana. And then I want to be known to be someone who finds delight with anything that has got to do with women. Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you. Please let's give it up for her.
Hello, I'm Rachel Banichi.
Sorry to interject. Due to time, we would have to run it up very fast, yeah? Thank you.
I'm Rachel Banichi, and I'm a Part 2 student at the Ghana School of Law.
Hey, wanna be like you when I grow up.
Please, I want to be known for someone who has been at Obaasima Academy and now empowers young lady in education of girls.
Right.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much. My name is Mabel, and I'm the immediate past Women's Commissioner for Women in Science in KNUST, and I'm currently doing my service with the Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Ghana.
Wow.
I am so passionate about women empowerment and to nurture women. That is why I'm with Obaasima Academy, to build my capacity to be able to do that job.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anna Saula Bruce, a third-year student of Blue Crest University College, studying information technology. I would like to be a strong pillar in the society to help and nurture others who I see to be vulnerable and have tread my path, encourage them to move on and then study and strive hard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Davina Nanama, a current student of the University of Ghana, studying education and psychology. I want to be known for not only a member of the Obaasima Academy, but someone who impacts lives, young ladies, yes, to be like me one day, yes.
Thank you.
My name is Sandra Danso. I'm a level 200 journalism student of the Institute of Journalism. And I would like to be known one day as an advocate for women empowerment, someone who encourages women to take their stand and to be where they are supposed to be in the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rael Nyakwa Nyako. I'm a second-year business administration student at the University of Ghana. I aspire to be one of Africa's youngest entrepreneurs, an advocate for women, and a lawyer for family health one day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Maria Mrs. Saeed. I'm currently doing my NSS at the Department of Mathematics, University of Ghana. And I want to be known as a lady who never gave up on her dreams, and her dream is to change the narrative about feminism. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Nadia Abdul Fattah Bashiru, a final year psychology student at the University of Ghana. I would like to be known as a very strong young girl who has never given up on a dream and who has been able to achieve them, and someone who others can look up to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Aniela Icha Asante. I only just completed the University of Ghana currently doing my service at Guarantee Trust Bank as an account officer. I want to be known as someone who is not defined by the circumstances she finds herself in. Whatever struggle that life throws at you, you face it head on and then you strive. So, thank you.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Adulum Hafsha Ismail is my name. I'm a graduate from the University for Development Studies. Currently, I serve as the communications team lead of the Learners Girls Foundation. I want to be known as somebody who makes impact, not just in Africa or just in Ghana, but globally.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
My name is Harriet Akosia Frimpoma Kwachi, and I'm a fisheries journalist. But then I aspire to be a lawyer one day, where I would be the voice for most especially women who are kind of vulnerable in the society.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's that lady who just joined. Or you want to like simmer down? Okay. We'll give you the opportunity. Okay. So
this is my turn.
Oh, yes.
I'm also a mentee.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, thank you. Please, my name is Linda Kamensa. I'm currently an associate NSS person at PwC Ghana with the CPNI unit.
So you send me Momo after this. PwC have money.
But I'll send you something.
Yeah.
So 2 cities. I want to be known as somebody who inspires change and goes on to be different. Yes, thank you very much.
Very well. Thank you. We're going to take turns with the mentors as well. But before that, we all understand the objective of the Obaasima Academy. Now, the Obaasima Summit has been, since its inception, has thrived to inspire, empower, and promote aspirations of women and girls in all spheres. That is why, I'm sure that is, and based on the evidence of what you saw in the past, that's what helped you make that decision to join the academy. And you didn't join for joining's sake. You could have decided to use your time and, you know, to do other things. But you're here today. The essence of having a mentor is very, I don't know the word to use, but it's very important to have a mentor in your life. Perhaps you have gone through some things in your life and you feel like, oh, I can do this on my own. I remember some years back, somewhere in 2019, after university, I was at the crossroads. I literally didn't know what to do with my life because I felt like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, let me try media. Let me try this. Let me try law school. Let me try this because I felt like I was I am multifaceted. However, even the good book says that God is the light unto the word of God is the light unto your feet and the lamp unto your path. And so that means you need someone in your life that will give you that direction. And you submitting yourself to mentorship, to counsel, to guidance is no joke, or it's not something to trivialize. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So essentially, these mentors that will be assigned to you, you would have to take them seriously because they've been where you are and they are still doing greater things. And so, without much ado, who is passing the microphones? Please. Oh, you're ready to speak. You introduce yourself and tell us what you would like to be known for.
Okay. So I'm Kima Suebatu, a level 300 student of University of Ghana, reading psychology and archaeology. And I would like to be a politician in future.
Okay. You want to be a politician?
Yes, please.
With which political party?
The NDC, of course.
Hey. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So it's the turn of our mentors. They're going to introduce themselves. and tell us their various designations.
Oh.
Please let's pay attention. Your mentor may be
Hello,
speaking.
good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Obaasima Ando. I'm a suicide prevention activist and the CEO for Winglow Family International. So basically, everything about your mental health is very important to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I think, I'm sorry I came a bit late, but I think I came at the right time. My name is Elsie Appel. I'm a lawyer by profession and I practice law. And then I also represent a company called Acriety. It's a human resources and management consultancy firm. So I'm responsible for the operations in 16 African countries. So we develop human capital. We believe in a position that Africans are best in solving Africans' problems. And African talents are worth sharing with the rest of the world. So we identify talents, we coach and groom these talents, and we give them employment, and we work mainly with the private sector. I'm also CEO and owner of the Isel Group. So we have business interests in real estate. So we build homes and sell, we build homes and rent. Yes, and then I also own a beauty and a fashion home, Isel Fashion.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a mother and I'm a wife, and I am happy to be amongst you. We've walked the journey before, we are still walking and learning. I'm here to learn from you and the little that I have to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Esquire.
Hi everyone, good morning. I am Petra Basamwa. I'm a writer, a marketing executive. And then I went to school with this young lady, so that's my claim to fame. And Amma as well, yeah.
Thank you. Please let's give it up for her.
She didn't add that she's a fantastic human being. You will learn so much from her. You have no idea. So my name is Baba Kofi. I'm an entrepreneur. I am a business owner. I'm a managing partner of Mahogany Consult. It's a public relations, events, and change management consultancy. I'm also a lecturer. I teach at Wisconsin International University College.
I school there.
I
still do.
You do?
I do.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you owe me. So I'm currently the Dean of the School of Communication Studies, and I teach there as well. I also have a not-for-profit organization called Live, Move, Have Your Being that supports families who are going through pregnancy and infertility challenges. And I'm also an author. I'm striving to be as good as her. Not gotten there yet, but I wrote a first book. It's a novel, but based on a true story, my story. In fact, I should have brought you guys copies. I will in subsequent meetings. So that's me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for coming later. That's one of the unfortunate things when you come late, because I don't even know what they were expecting of me. But here I'm supposed to introduce myself, right? To many of you here, I think you've seen me a couple of times. So this will just be brief. I'm Jifa Tega. I recently became a full-time politician. But part-time, you know, we all have small businesses. So I'm a business owner myself. I have Impala Firewater. I supply drinks in wholesale. And then I also have a fashion line that I'm trying to build, ready-to-wear outfits. That is what we do on the side. Hopefully, in future, we can take it from there when we want to rest during our political era. I've been with Obaasima for quite some time now. I'm a proud member. I've seen some of my seniors here. Elsie Esquire. She's one of my seniors, and it's nice to meet you again. I'm sure we're going to have fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more? Are you okay? Thank you very much to our mentors. Very, very inspiring. You know, you're hearing the credentials. You're hearing all the, you know, the titles. I'm like, okay, I'm at the right place. Aren't we at the right place? All right. Without wasting much time, we will have a rundown of what has transpired within the year. or last year, the previous year. Which is to come? Yes, which is to come? Badmans. All right, so we'll invite Linda.
Please, I'm doing this with Aina.
Okay, Aina and Linda will give us a rundown of what's going to happen.
As you touch down at the Kotoka International Airport, we welcome you to our airport lounge in absolute class and elegance, ready to answer all your questions for your stay. For both international and intercity travelers, we bring you to the hotel in style with our 24-hour shuttle service. There's nothing more beautiful than walking into a lobby that feels like home. The charm on the faces of our service staff certainly makes your stay more enjoyable. With over 20 years of hospitality experience, we deliver elegance and excellence with a wide service mix of 101 luxurious rooms, 6 well-equipped conference rooms, and ultra-modern boardroom equipped with video conferencing facilities, the new Sibo restaurant, a famous interactive lunar sky terrace, a private heated swimming pool and pool bar, cafe shop, business center, gift shop, spa, and a gym. With our internationally experienced chefs, we offer you the best in food and beverages. Join our extensive breakfast buffet, which is the most important meal of the day. But don't miss out on our warm lunches to revamp your day.
Orientation and the meetup of the mentors and the mentees was supposed to be in January, but then we reached out to the mentees and many of you were writing exams, so we had to push it to first or second week in February. So this February we're supposed to have a seminar. So today we're going to have the orientation, which we're almost done with, and then the seminar just continues. It's just a talk, one talk, but I know it will change you. So orientation in January, and then one seminar in January. And then we're going to have 2 SHS runs. We're going to go to Accra Girls and then Fantaman Girls. School. Yeah. So it's supposed to happen between February, March. So by end of March, we would have visited the 2 senior high schools. The idea is that you're picking a few things, yeah? From here, you've picked a lot of things from tertiary, you've gone through SHS already. So you'll be able to impact those who are in school and are trying to come out, to help them transition safely into the tertiary cycle of education. Yes. And then from April to June, we're going to do 2 campus tours. The first campus is UCC, because we've never been there. And then the second one, we'll take your input. We are considering between KNUST and then UDS. But we'll still, so it's just 2 campus tours. And then we'll have 2 other seminars, one on building a digital brand. That is from a professional, not me. The ones I give you were just like something brief. And then between July and September, we're going to have all other activations that we've done that we think we can redo, and then would have 2 other seminars. And the seminars are going to be keeping up with tech trends. There's like a lot that's going on with tech. So artificial intelligence, data analysis, machine learning, software development, all of those things. It's very important that as a young person, even if you don't want to venture into those careers, you know about them and you know what they do, at least for your own good, so that you can contribute to conversations. You don't have to be a daft head. Does it make sense? And it's even important that you know, because that's where the money is, guys. You should start looking there. And we'll look at our other activations. So we can do the campus activations and then the market activations. We're not too sure about it, but with you, we're going to see if we should or should not do, and the ones that we should focus on. And then between October to December, that's where the fun is, right? So we'll have our main summit between those 3 months. Then we'll have the picnic, the social picnic that will go and talk about anything, like the relationship drama, the love stories, the romantic lives that's not going on well, the advices on the businesses that you want to start, all those things that ordinarily you cannot talk about during the seminars and the webinars, right? And then we would have one last seminar, managing your finances, in December. Then we call for new people to join. Along all of these, for the year, you're supposed to be engaging with your mentor, who you are going to be paired with. And we are expecting that at least you meet your mentor once every month. That's the least, which means that you should be able to do more if you can. Does it make sense? So along all of this, you're giving us feedback, how your mentorship is going. Do you like what you're sharing with your mentor? Do you like what your mentor is sharing with you? Do you like what you are learning? Is there something the mentor should do for you that you think would make the mentorship a bit more comfortable for you? What exactly do you want to learn from the mentor? Do you like your mentor, or should we change your mentor? All of those things, they are reality checks that we need to have. Because sometimes you can be engaging with somebody, but you're not going to get as much as you want from the person. But if you're able to change and switch people, you will be able to. So if you're able to give us feedback, then we can tailor the mentorship to help you better. Does it make sense? Yes. I think that is all. Framework for the mentorship, I've already said it as part of the brief. That's what we have started. So you get to meet your mentor meets you, then you're able to have one-on-one conversations. You meet the mentor at least once a month until the year. When you join Obaasima, as you have joined the academy, you have joined for life until you say that, okay, you want to go, or maybe you die, but you will not die. So, yes, but the mentorship is for 1 year, right? So after 1 year, you no longer have direct access to the mentor as, oh, you have to meet them every month. No. So the next batch that will come on will now go through the mentorship process. The idea is that if you want to take a step and then somebody helps you take the first step, the other few steps, you'll be able to take them on your own, because at least now you know how the first step looks like, right? So it will give the opportunity to other girls who join. However, you'll still be able to reach the mentors through Auntie Ama, right? Or even if the mentor is able to establish a very good relationship with you, you can reach out to them, but you'll not be able to disturb them as much as you would during the screening mentorship that we are going to have in this year. So I would urge all of you to take advantage of this mentorship. I am personally looking forward to who would be mentored to, or who will be given to Fatra. I've been following her, and I am so happy to see her today. I'm sure she doesn't know who I am, but that is fine. That is very, very good. And I'm so happy for all of you that you're going to meet these amazing people. I think they have lots of knowledge to share with you and lots of opportunities to share with you. I think I'm talking a lot, so I would just like to leave it. Thank you.
That's fine, you're doing well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Aina.
So Linda touched on the framework, and then I'll be touching on the various committees that we have. Before we leave here, all of us will have to join a committee. So we have 4 different committees where we have the Leadership Appointment Board. We also have the Finance Committee, Event Committee, and then the Communication Committee. One last thing that I would like to touch on is our dues. So we will be paying dues, which is 30 cedis every month. And then for now, I'm in charge of the Finance Committee, so I'll be the one to be collecting the dues. So if you have yours here, you can make payments before you leave. Thank you.
Very well outlined. Thank you, Linda and Aina. So Linda emphasized on the fact that you should take this mentorship program seriously. Are you here? You should take this mentorship program seriously. I was sharing with you a story in 2019 where when I graduated from uni, I didn't know what to do, So I actually admired media work since I was a child. So I got the opportunity to encounter one of the big names in media, who is a female, whose name I'm not going to disclose. And I met her. At the time, I was a beauty queen. I was Miss Health Ghana in 2019. And so I was going to hand over, and as part of the handing over, promo, we had to do some TV interviews, among other things. And so we're fortunate to land at her outfit, where she was, pioneering or steering affairs over there. And she says, "Hey, beautiful girl, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine, And she's like, "Oh, so you are the incumbent queen?" I'm like, "Yes." "So you're going to hand over?" I'm like, "Yes." She asked me, "What do you want to do with your life afterwards?" And I was silent. For the most minutes, I was silent. And I started crying. Yes. And she's like, "Why? did I say anything wrong? I'm like, no. I just had to come up with this. I don't know what came over me, but I told her she was intimidating me. That's why I was crying. But far from that, it was the dissatisfaction I had with myself, the fear of the unknown, not knowing where to go, because I'm at the crossroads, university graduate. It's very difficult to, get a job, among other things. And I was looking for someone to just, encourage me, empower me, or inspire me to say, this is what I think. Why don't you try this? This is what I project. Why don't you venture into this? And so this very program isn't something any of us should take for granted. Linda said that if you're trying to reach out to your mentor and he or she isn't responding, you can contact the committee members and then they will, find a way to salvage the situation. But your problem is supposed to be your mentor's headache. Right now, Obaasima is giving you the opportunity to worry somebody for good reasons, right? To bother somebody for the right reasons. And so once again, I'm very glad to be a part of this initiative. And the brain behind this very initiative, she's angelic. The other time I posted her on my status, I'm like, she's just an angel. And you know what's the characterization of an angel is? The first time I met Auntie Amma, she was smiling plenty. I'm like, hey, na mami oni mi when I was with that. And the interest in people, genuine interest, I must say, is what she exudes. She's interested and she doesn't even relent in giving opportunities. Ladies, most ladies here and the few gentlemen here, let us with a round of applause welcome Amma Pratt to give her remarks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ohima. Ohima was saying she was trying out media. Sebefa na emfa. Patromanya kanchen is afa. Hi. Let's do our thing. Obaasima. With more vim. Obaasima. Let's continue to hold up the sky. Yes, we will continue to hold up that sky. Absolutely. I am so excited. Like I'm trying to contain myself. You have no idea. No idea. Because from 2019, when we thought of this, right? When we thought of having a smaller group of women that are going places and pairing them with women that have already gone places and are still going places, I did not see it actualizing in a hotel room like this. But today, I see it. We had our launch, right? But that was a launch, right? That was a launch. I was still not sure how it was going to pan out, how it's going to look. But we are here, and we are panning out. Are we not? Absolutely. I am excited for our journey from 2019 till now. I'm excited that we have people who are so gracious and have hearts so full. Ohima speaks about angels. Our angels are here, right? These are very busy women, you know. You realize the way Elsie stressed on mother and wife, right? Because those are full-time jobs. Those are full-time jobs, and we acknowledge those jobs. Housewife, Charlie, I don't know how they do it. But then in addition to that, I see you, Rita. In addition to that, there's the law. Then there's all those businesses. Look at Petra. Petra, how many books? 2? No pressure. 3, right? Right? Baba, Jifa, Obaasima, Look at all the things these women do. Look at Rita, right? I've known Rita from University of Ghana. And every time I know her, she's in school. Rita has perpetually been in school from 2000 and what? From 2003 or 2004 when I met you. She's consistently, Rita, you're still in school, no? Imagine that, right? And in that journey, she's also been a wife, she's been a mother, she's changed so many jobs. If I start now, we won't finish, right? But that's all experiences that she has garnered. And for these women to graciously bring all of that and say, I'm ready to share, that's amazing. Can we clap for them? That's amazing. The plan for Obaasima is that our ladies are carefully chosen mentees. And you guys went through a rigorous process. And I appreciate you for putting yourself through that, because you by yourselves are also achievers. I mean, look at the ladies we have in the room. Look at Linda. Look at, all these amazing ladies that we have. All of them have positions. Former UCOM, former this, fairs that, right? So these are people who could by themselves have said, I'm good. I don't need anything. Nobody can show me nothing, right? But they went through a rigorous process to get selected to join the academy. The plan for me is that in this year that we are dedicating our year to this program. In this year, we are going to take from our mentors. We are going to be like sponges, myself included. We are going to take from them, right? And in the next year, when we have our next batch of mentees, our mentors, we are not letting them go. They don't know how we are going to hold them, right? We are holding them. But hopefully, in that year, you would have learned so much from your mentors, and opportunities are endless. Linda and Aina spoke about them, where hopefully some of them would agree to take you on permanently. There are those that are going to be in the loop that are going to show up for events like these, but we are hoping that some of them will take you on permanently, would have, monthly engagements with you, will be happy to drag you along with them when they are going for some of their events and give you networking opportunities and things like that, so that in the year, some of you should be ready to also be mentors. Do we understand? Do we understand what we are doing? Okay. So when you phase out and the next batch comes, you are also ready to impart. In a year, you've given them so much of yourselves. Because, it's not a take and take relationship. It's a take and give. Actually, the give comes before the take. It's a give and take, right? So in a year, when you're also mentors, you can also give back to a new set of mentees. Imagine what we would have done in this place. Imagine, in 10 years, imagine what we could have done in 10 years if we commit ourselves to this wholeheartedly, right? If we are diligent and disciplined and committed enough to what we have set our minds to do. Imagine what we can do. This is what? Carrying it forward. Is that what they say? Is that a phrase? Is that a phrase? Sorry? Paying it forward. That's the concept here, that we pay it forward. That whatever we take, we give back. We also hold somebody's hand and carry her along with us. And if we are all carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying, imagine what we can do. Imagine what we can do. So for us, we've done the summits. We've done the talking. From 2019, we've been talking, have we not? We've done the campus activations. We've done the market activations. We've done the main summits. We filled the National Theatre, right? We've done that and we've done that. Yeah. We will still do that. Our last meeting, I was suggesting to the ladies that we scrap the summits. And they said, no way, we like our summits, right? And so we will still do that. But for me, the important thing is the carrying each other along practically, beyond the talk, beyond the speeches, practically carrying somebody along with you. Because if we all do that, that sky, we will finish the sky, right? But for now, let's just aim at doing what with the sky. That was a test to holding up that sky, holding up that sky. So I will not talk plenty. Petra is here to take us through our orientation. Once she's done, we are expecting Mr. Theodore Albright to take us through our first seminar on personal development. I have to say that we made this restricted we didn't make this meeting open. And we had a few, about it, where Linda and Aina felt that we should open it up. And I said, no, let's restrict it to the academy. And for good reason, right? We have other programs that other people can come. But this is ours. This is what makes us. And there's a Westlife song that I love. So it says, the little things that only I know, those are the things that make you mine. So some of the things we can keep to. I like romance. Some of the things we can keep to our chest. So this is for us. Maybe subsequently, when you guys think we should open up our seminars, but because it's also an orientation, I thought it was important that we keep it to ourselves, a close-knit community. So thank you for being here. Thank you to our mentors. Thank you to our mentees. I am hoping to take as much as I can. I'm ready to learn, but I'm ever ready to do, which is always the most important. Are we ready to do? Yes. No. Are we ready to do? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Last one. Now we don't say ladies, we say Obaasima. Okay. So Obaasima. Let's continue to hold up the Yes.
All right, please let's give it up for Alma. She has highlighted the importance of why we're gathered here and the need for us to take this seriously. I always say that as a woman who has gotten somewhere, it shouldn't be imposed on you to tag someone along. You should see the need, right? So these are women who are achievers, and they are going to tag us along. By the way, Auntie Amma, officially or unofficially, I'm a student of the academy. There are just 30 of them. I make the 31. I always want to make the difference. All right. So without wasting much time, we'll invite Madam Petra Obaasima, who is an author, head of marketing for her outfit, to orient us. Please, let's do it better.
Thank you, Ohima. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Amma, thank you for bringing this to life. I know that ideas, they can stay in your head for a very long time, but it takes boldness to execute. So Amma is a woman of courage and boldness. Let's appreciate her. Hi, Linda. And everyone else here that I know that I'm not sure I know, but I'm excited to meet you. I'm going to be sharing with us. Can I? Okay. Thank you kindly. I'm going to be sharing with us a few thoughts on why mentorship is important and then how to go about it the right way. Ohima talked about when she walked into a media house and she met a prominent media person, and when they asked her what she wants to do, she didn't know. We've all been there. There's a very respectable gentleman I admire so much, and the first time I met him, I didn't know what to say. I just looked at him like, okay, how do I open my mouth? What do I say? But thankfully, hopefully, you get a second opportunity, and then you plan properly. So, but I understood that also to mean that it's also the sense of, you mentioned the unknown, and that can be very scary. When I was leaving university, the prayers that I prayed, the hours on who are the University of Ghana people here? You know the Afefe field? You know the Saba field? Okay, so myself and a couple of people from the fellowship I was in, we used to go and pray, and all the prayer I was praying was just prayers of fear. God, like, help me when I get out of this place. Because in my mind, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I really didn't have a clue what I was going to do. I read political science, philosophy. I was just lost in my head what the possibilities were. But it's been almost 20 years, and I'm very grateful to God for the journey that I've had. But I also say this without apology or reservation, that I've really been blessed with very good mentors. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, that I lend my time, I answer questions, I make myself available, because I really believe that, but for that opportunity to meet, to talk, to engage with people who had walked the path I wanted to walk, even when I didn't know what I wanted to do, has really been transformational for me. Just having the opportunity to ask questions, go to them and say, what do you think about this? Or I'm confused about this. I'm not sure what I want to do, and listening to them or them listening to me, because it's not always that your mentor will be talking to you. They would also need to listen to you. That has been a tremendous blessing to me. So I'm going to share with you some of the things I believe are important for you to remember as you embark on this mentoring journey for our mentees and our mentors, and hopefully it becomes useful to you. There's no single thing in life, as I've come to realize in my almost 41 years, that is the solution to all your problems. So you can't say, okay, this, like when people say, what are the keys to success? I don't think that there are any defined number of 10 or 15 keys. There are things that you can do that would give you an edge. There are things that you can do that will help you progress, but there are no defined sets. So what might work for Linda might not necessarily work for Hema, but there are a few principles that can work. So all the things I'm going to say, listen, think about them when you go home, and decide for yourself what makes sense and what's applicable to you. One very key thing is no one is the repository of all knowledge. So don't say that because Petra said it, it has to be right. We actually want you to develop an inquiry mind that you can ask questions and challenge things that have been said. Some of the most seemingly profound statements that have been said by really, really interesting people don't mean anything. Like, they're very nice quotes, but if you think about them, they might not really mean anything to you. So question everything that we say here, okay, and open your mind. At the end of the day, you want to be able to go home with things that you know you can apply, and then go and apply them. Because if you come into a seminar or you come into a workshop and we talk for the whole day, and you don't implement anything, you've wasted your life, which essentially is your time, okay? So let's make a deal that we'll implement. All right, so mentoring is not a new thing. It's an age-old, centuries-old phenomenon. It's existed in prehistoric times. It existed in the times of the Bible. It existed in the times of the life of the prophets. It's been there. One very easy example would be the relationship between Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato. Have you heard those names? The political science students. Okay, so that's the relationship they had. And I'm very particular about Socrates and Aristotle because the type of relationship they had is one that I believe is practical, that we can model after. Essentially, the relationship is not a one person pouring into the other person, but it's an exchange of ideas and an exchange of questions and answers about what's true about the world. So think about your mentoring relationship, first of all, as it going to be an exchange. You're not going to just go and sit in front of your mentor and she's going to do all the talking for 2 hours or 1 hour every month. Okay. The other thing is, think about your mentoring relationship as an opportunity for you to close a gap that exists. If you've done any proper assessment of yourself, you would know the things you're good at, the things you're not too good at, the things you want to improve at. So it's a good time to do it if you haven't done it already for the year. You've said to yourself, okay, this year I want to be Ajwa. Who is Ajwa here? Okay, Ajwa, every Monday born is Ajwa. So I want to be Ajwa 2.0. What would make me Ajwa 2.0? What did I not have in the Ajwa of 2023 that I want to bring to my world and to impact my community in this 2024? And what gaps exist? So you may find out that, okay, I have a mentee who said to me, at the end of all our goal setting and everything, she said the one thing she wants to do this year is to be able to have a daily routine. And I looked at her and I said, but like we've said so many things, there's so many nice goals we have, how is that like the main thing? And she says, Petra, because I don't have a daily routine. So whilst I was thinking, okay, the very lofty goals of we want to make $1 million, we want to build a house, we want to go back to school and do a master's, for her, it was just the basic thing of when I wake up in the morning, I want to be able to do A, B, and C. Okay, and that's a gap that she had identified. So you need to really, really be clear and identify what is this gap in my life that I need to fill. And this gap I'm talking about is not an emotional gap. your mentor, especially in the Obaasima Academy, is not going to fill your emotional gap. So I'm a strong believer that physical touch is important. I think that you need at least 12 hugs a day to be mentally sound. So even though I'm not a hugger, I really, really feel that that's important. So there are lots of studies to show that. But your mentor is not going to be that person who will meet you every day and like, oh, I want to hug you, I want to touch you, like you smell so good. That's not the point of this relationship. Okay, so think about it. No. Okay, Amma is volunteering herself for hugs. So think about what gap you have, what skills gap, and try and match that to something that your mentor has. Okay, so your mentor, you would meet, you interact, you get to know each other, and then be able to identify what is about this person that I know I can learn from. So that you have a clear sense of purpose. If you start something without a sense of purpose, you're not going to achieve anything. Okay. And then the second thing is, don't go into the relationship just because. So Obaasima says you have to have a mentor as part of the academy. Someone wrote to me recently. I've just recently invited a few young people to be my mentees. And in her statement of purpose, she says, I really don't know why I need a mentor, but everybody says it's important for me to have one, so I'm asking you to be my mentor. And I accepted her, actually, because I want to have a conversation with her about that. So don't just do it just because. Have a sense of purpose. Why do I want to do this? Why is it important for me? How is this going to help me on my journey of development? That's a very key thing you need to think about. Okay, so the first thing I said was think about it as an exchange. Secondly, go into it with a clear sense of purpose. And then the third thing is think about your relationship in terms of, you need to think about how you're going to set, and this is for the mentors, how are you going to set boundaries and what are the rules of engagement. Very often, I hear mentors say things like, oh, my mentee is not serious. Like every time I'm supposed to meet them, they don't show up, or they are overbearing, or they're too entitled. To a large extent, it could mainly be because you've not communicated clearly what you expect of them and what they should expect of you. So very basic things like, when can they reach you? How can they reach you? If you're not the type of person who wants 10 missed calls on your phone, I don't think there's anybody like that here. Just let them know that if they call you between the hours of 3 and 10 p.m., those are the good hours for you. But you can't call me on a Monday morning between 7 and 11 because I'm busy. So clearly define what the boundaries are, the times that work for you, the modes of communication, and be upfront about it, I would say. There are young people who would send you a message and say, hey, Petra, and I'm thinking, and instead of just being resentful, it's a teachable moment to say, oh, Akosia, I think we should, Petra, maybe we should establish a different form of communication. Like, be very clear about it. Be upfront so you can establish the boundaries at the beginning. Okay. The mentor-mentee relationship is not a servant-master relationship. So we don't expect that you are going to be like subservient to your mentor. We want you to learn. The mentor also is going to be able to learn from you. But don't go into the relationship with a mindset of, I'm going to be a servant to this person. It's very easy to fall into that mindset. Okay, so think about it as, this is someone who is knowledgeable, this is someone who has experienced possibly my journey, and I want to learn from them. So it's not a servant-master relationship. The other thing I would say is that consider your mentor-mentee relationship as mutually beneficial. In the sciences, there's symbiosis. And in oh yes, the science lady is nodding her head. I got a point. So there's symbiosis. And in symbiotic relationships, there's what? Parasitism, commercialism, and what? Mutualism, yes. So the type of relationship we want is mutualism. We don't want a relationship that is parasitic. A parasitic relationship is, I am always the one getting. A mosquito is a parasite. A mosquito comes and they suck your blood and then they give you a disease. What good thing do you get from a mosquito? Okay, so don't be a parasite. Don't think about it as your mentor must always be the one on the giving side of things. think about it also as, what can I give to this relationship? A very simple thing. And this, sometimes as a young person, you're thinking, oh, I mean, if I have a relationship with Amma, what can I give Amma? There are things that Amma needs that you have that she doesn't have. For instance, Amma may need you to go across town when she's trying to be in 5 places at the same time. And you, at the moment, have just finished school, so you have time on your hands. So time can be exchanged. You can share with Amma your pair of eyes to look at a document that she's working on. That's another thing that you can offer her. You can offer Amma just the benefits of a second pair of eyes looking at something before it gets posted or gets worked on. So there are things that you can do to support your mentor. So don't think about it as, I'm just in this relationship to receive, to receive, to receive. It's going to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Your mentor is not your parents, except they're your biological parents. So yes, your parents can become a mentor, but in this situation and in our context, if the person is not your biological parent, please don't try to make them your parent. Which means that the things that you expect a parent to do, your mentor may not be willing to do and is not expected to do. For instance, the mentor is not the one going to be paying school fees, not going to be sending you credits, not going to be sending you money, Momo for papaya or whatever it is that you do, or, Auntie Jifa, this week they haven't done my hair, or can you just send me money to go and do it? Or, Auntie Jifa, that wig that you're no longer wearing, can you just give it to me for this weekend? Please, please redefine or reorient your mind that that's not what it's going to be, okay? Let's keep the relationship as a learning relationship. You want it to be cordial as much as possible, but don't cross certain lines, okay? And your mentor is not your sponsor. Your mentor could be your sponsor, and using the word sponsor, I mean someone who can help you progress in your career, not necessarily someone who gives you money. For mentors, it's important that you recognize that you need to take responsibility for the success of the relationship. A lot of times, mentors, because of the generational differences, tend to say things like, oh, these young people are not serious. When you give them an appointment, they don't show up. But let's take a step further and recognize that because we are the more experienced party in the relationship, we can be a better guide. Okay, so be clear about boundaries. I would say things like, if we have a meeting at 9, I expect you to arrive before 9. And let them know that, Akosia, our meeting is at 9, so come before 9. I don't want you walking into the place at 9. If you arrive at 9, it means you are late. And what's going to happen is, if I was going to spend 30 minutes with you, we're going to have a shorter period of time. And I know we have a lot of things to talk about, so please arrive on time. And as you continue to emphasize things like that, it gets better. The second thing is, you want to help your proteges solve problems that they are currently facing or may face in the future. You may not necessarily have experienced everything that they're experiencing. And I say this because sometimes we just assume that an older person has experienced everything a younger person has not experienced. So traditionally we say things like, what an older person can see sitting down, a young person cannot see standing up. But trust me, mentors, the experiences of this generation can be very different from what we experienced. I have a mentee who, on our ride from church one evening, she was saying to me, one of the things that makes it stressful for her to go to work is sitting in church, because by the time she gets to work, her body is aching. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, how is that a problem? Like, that was never an issue for me. I was happy to be in the church, I was happy to get a job and to go. But I of course, I didn't say, how is that a problem for me? I was just looking at it, I was like, oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. So what else is the issue? Like, Auntie Petra, and even how the church mates even behave, and how they will just insult you because they don't have change. And then I remembered when I used to take church to work, and one of the things I did was, in the building I was working, there was a bank. So on Friday, I would go downstairs and change all my big notes to have enough change for the week, so I don't have any interaction with the church guy. When I enter the church, I'm paying him exactly what he needs. No, me and him no get wahala, So it wasn't an issue for me, but in her time, she sees it as a really big problem. And she was really complaining about how, she has body pains, and by the time she gets to work, she's just tired. So their experiences may be slightly different from what you experience. Your responsibility as a mentor is to listen, to empathize, and to help them as much as you can to move from that point to where they want to get to. Okay. Please be sensitive to the different styles of communication that young people have. Their styles may not necessarily align to what you know or what you are used to. We need to accommodate some of that. So I said at the beginning, someone sending you a message and everybody calls you auntie. And then this mentee sends you a message and say, hey, yo, what's up? So there was a young lady who sent me a message like, hey, can you vote for me? I'm doing blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't think we're on hey. Like, was this message meant for me? He's like, oh, Auntie Petra, sorry, no. So recognize that that will happen. We should not close them out because of that. It should be a teachable moment. So just going back and saying, for instance, my 13-year-old son's friends, when he didn't have a phone, they would send WhatsApp messages to me. And there was one particular young man who, every time he sends a message, he will use shorthand, like GM for good morning. Or, you know how there are different things. I mean, there's so many short forms of stuff. And I said to him one day, I was like, can we agree on something? And he says, yes, auntie. If you want to chat with me, please use full form English. And he says, okay, auntie. And that's it. We've never had any of the GM for good morning anymore. And we're very cool. I mean, he's a very nice 13-year-old young man. We've gone on trips together with my son and everything. But it was key for me because I felt that you would just say that's how they are. Sometimes they really don't know. Honestly, sometimes the young people really don't know. They don't know that it's not acceptable, for instance, to send you a message at 1 a.m. and they're waiting and say, auntie, you're not minding me. When in all honesty, you may not have seen the message. You may have seen it, but you're half asleep, which is the case with me 90% of the time, because I'm a very early sleeper. So if you send me a message at 9, I would see your message, but I'm not in the full frame of mind to give you a sensible response. So I would say, okay, I'll just unread it, and in the morning when my mind is alive and awake, give you a proper response. And so if you assume that because they've given you, as for this auntie, the everyday blue tick. Everyday blue tick. Now the chances that she may be indisposed, unavailable are very high. So please don't also assume that they just don't want to respond to you. Okay, so the mentors, please be open to different forms of communication. You also want to involve your mentee in deciding how you want to spend time together. And I say this because what may be important to you or what makes sense to you may not necessarily make sense to them. So whilst you're thinking, if I spend a day with them in my office and they see everything I'm doing, it will be a good learning experience. They may want to spend the lunch hour with you rather in a comfortable environment where they can chat. So I have 2 national service young ladies in my team in Akosombo, and 2 weeks ago we're having a conversation about what we want to do for the year. And so at the end of everything, I said, do you have any questions? And one of the young ladies said, please, when are we going for lunch? And like, what do you mean, when are we going for lunch? When are we having our team outing? You just joined my team in November. We're already planning a chill. It's like, oh, no problem. We will go. Next time I'm here, we'll go out. That's something that will make her happy and excited. It may not be my way of starting the relationship, but I immediately realized that this is somebody who considers connection and social ties as important to her work. So we're going to do the outing. I'm planning it very, very carefully for everybody to be available so we can go. So mentors, please be recognize that. Involve them in what you can do together. A good mentor is a good listener. It's very tempting because you have experience and exposure and you've walked the path to want to do all the talking. But please try to listen. You may hear what you are not seeing or hear what you need to hear that you may not have expected. Very interesting things happen to young people these days. And I've interacted, I serve in the youth ministry in my church, and I interact with lots of young people. One of the things is that because
of different factors, urbanization, family situations, how we were socialized is slightly different from how they've been socialized. For a lot of the young people you may be interacting with, some of them are living, even where they have two parents in the home, they're two absent parents, or two parents that they have no relationship with. So and they see every older person as someone who is going to either talk down at them or talk to them in a way that makes them feel less than. Because every time they're interacting with an older person, it's about what they're not doing well. So I've been paying a lot of attention to research and conversations around how your childhood impacts on your future. And one of the key things I've come to realize is a lot of what we heard as children impacts on the sense of self that we have as adults. For instance, if a child comes home and they have like a C on an exam, they didn't do very well. Maybe they got a D or they got an F, but they got an A, a B, a C on something else. Where does the parent's eye go to first? The F. And so the first thing is, you got an F. How did you get an F? All the classes fee I've been paying, all the things I've been doing, you got an F. And that's what the child remembers. So a lot of us focus our efforts at self-development and improvement only at what we're not good at, rather than trying to emphasize what we are great at. So you talk to a young person and 6 out of 10 times they're telling you about what they're not good at. Think about how we approach interviews in Ghana. Tell me about yourself. Me, I'm a very humble person. I don't like talking. When you go into that, one of the things you would realize is at some point in this young person's life, someone told them they were too loud, or they talked too much, or they asked too many questions. So they've tamed and they've toned down something that was natural to them. Rather than focusing on emphasizing what they are great at, we are always focused on minimizing what we're not very good at. And then that takes preeminence over everything else. Okay, so it's key that you try and hear, listen, so that you can help them. And self-esteem exhibits itself in different ways, in how they relate to their senior colleagues at work, how they relate to you as a mentor, how they relate to the opposite sex, different ways of it coming out. You would deal with young women who didn't have a relationship with a father, for instance, or didn't have any relationship with their mother, and the dynamics are different. So if there was a present father, but a very strict father, there's a way a person will behave. If there was an absent father completely, there's a way a person will behave. If there was a mother who was very strict, there's a way the person will behave. If there was an absent mother, there's a way the person will behave. So all of these things, and I'm sure you're looking, I'm like, Petra, this is too much work. God will grant you grace. Okay. I've already said establish boundaries, and then my final point would be, please be humble to recognize that you are not the transformation agent. You're just a guide. It's very heartbreaking when you advise someone, you talk to them, and then you see them doing the exact opposite of what you've told them. But as a mentor, your job is not to live their lives for them. And we need to be humble enough to recognize that. And open enough to love them anyway. So they will go and make mistakes and come back and say, Auntie Amma, you told me, but I still called him. And Auntie Amma is not going to say, I told you, go with your trouble. Like, go and face the consequences of your action, which is very easy and very correct to say. But once you establish that you have a mentor-mentee relationship with someone, be open also to the fact that they may not listen to you. They may not do what you say they should do. They may actually show up in a completely different form than you expect. And it's not in your place, or it's not advisable that you position yourself as, if you don't listen to me, it's my way or the highway. That's a very important point for me to make, because you're really not the transformation agent. You're not the one who is going to change them. You support them, guide them. They would still make their own mistakes. And I tell young people this all the time. For every action, there's a consequence. I will not bear the consequences of your action. So I will not fund the consequences of your action. Once you think through and we discuss and you make a decision, you bear the consequences of your action. So another important thing is you're not making decisions for them. They come to you and say, I'm considering 2 job options. Don't go ahead and say, okay, take this one. Allow them to think through the pros and the cons, what are the options, because, Petra is the one who said I should do it too. And now it didn't work out. These people, they think they know what they are doing, but they really don't know what they are doing. They've made me make the wrong decision. Allow them to make their choices. Unfortunately, they'll make their mistakes also. When they come back, be available to listen. Be available if they want to cry or they want to just rant. And I say, if you can't reach me, send me a message. Just put everything you want to say in that message. And when I am available, I'll come back and then we'll talk about it. So mentors, that'll be my final statement to you. Please just remember that you're going to guide. They will still make their mistakes. They will still show up. Like, you can be in a meeting with your mentee and then they say something completely off. And this is not the time where you're going like, I have disowned you. From this point on, you are no longer my mentee. One very important thing that we've done with the academy is the time frame is defined. So after a year, they'll be gone anyway. So just accommodate them for the year. Even if they are stubborn and they are like pulling out your hair, just accommodate them for a year. And then manage the relationship. Because just like your own child, sometimes you tell your children things and they don't listen. And they go and do it. My children always want me to explain why I want them to do something. Mommy, why? Mommy, are you sure? Like, the school said this, so this is what we are doing. Mommy, are you sure? Like, where's the newsletter that said it? Like, and people like Linda, like, oh, I want to meet Petra. In my home, my children think that they are more intelligent than me. Everything I say, I have to explain. I have to convince them. I have to justify. So it's just like that. Young people have the tendency to think that, and not the thing, they believe that they know more than you. They understand life more than you. So be open to that. My final comment to the mentees would be that manage your expectations. Okay, manage your expectations. I've had people who I wanted them to mentor me. I reached out to them and they didn't even respond. So what I have done in my life is to hold on to those who've been available to me. And availability and willingness is very, very important in a mentor-mentee relationship. So if you find a mentor that is available and willing, hold on to them. Beyond the program, keep the relationship, okay? And I said at the beginning, be clear what gap you want to close and be focused on it. Don't let the mentor-mentee relationship be about you following them to events and just holding their bag or just taking pictures. Linda said it. It's not about just meeting people and saying, oh, I met Petra, and we took a picture. And then, so it's no longer a thing, except it's my birthday, and you want to say, hey, Petra, happy birthday. Then that picture becomes important. But really, really, really manage your expectations. Because if your expectations are like really up there, and the relationship does not deliver on that, you may be disappointed. So like I said, your mentor is not going to be your parent. It means that the things that your parent is supposed to do, they may not do. They're not necessarily your financier, so they will not be sending you Momo and credit, and they will not give you their wig. I don't even have a wig to give. So think about it clearly and evaluate. In everything, you need to evaluate. So if you set objectives at the beginning, at the end, evaluate the relationship. How is this going? What do I need to do to improve, and how can I make this better? Okay? I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Petra. Thank you. Please keep clapping. Thank you. That was very elaborate and profound. The most interesting part for me is to avoid parasitic relationships. And one thing I'd like to add is that our mentors aren't demigods. They are not demigods, yes. They don't have all the answers to our problems. So that brings us to her conclusion that we should manage our expectations. Don't go asking for Momo and other things that your mentor cannot or isn't in the place to, provide for you or help you with. Let's give it up once again for Petra. Auntie Petra, please, I'm sorry. I said Petra, Auntie Petra. All right, so moving on. We will accept the mandates that have been posed on us, or posed to us, I beg your pardon. So on behalf of the mentors, we're going to have an acceptance speech, and on behalf of the mentees, there's going to be an acceptance speech as well. And without much ado, we will invite Miss Rita Ajentechi to accept the mentorship mantle on behalf of all the mentors. Please, let's give it up for Auntie Rita. So moving forward, all our mentors are aunties. Or we can even modify it to say Hunte.
Hello. Thank you so much. These days, a lot of people are calling me mommy. I'm like, am I looking like a mommy like that? And my kids will tell me, oh, no, you're not looking like grandma yet. So you're not that old. And then when they say that, then I'm happy. I don't want to look like grandma yet. But then again, I was actually looking forward to listening to a lot more people speak. I mean, our mentors, our mentees, our guest speakers. I was really excited. I wanted to sit in the audience and just listen. Yes, I've had the opportunity to meet Mr. Albright. And this man is so intelligent, and you guys have no idea what you're going to get from him today. But all I would like to say is that thank you so much for being here, the mentees, for this opportunity, grasping it and saying that, yes, this is what I want to do for myself. When I was sitting with Theodore, I was telling him that a lot of people say that I want to get to this place, I want to do this, I want to do that. A lot of us women are saying that we need seats at the table. We're actually grabbing the seats and taking them to those rooms, to those tables. But are we preparing for those roles? How are we getting there? And so it's not that a lot of people are pushing for women to have representation, and then when we get there, we have nothing to offer. We don't want people to say that, you know what, this gender crowd, they have issues. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare for those roles. And just about 2 days ago, I met this lady. She's in politics, very well versed, with one of the political parties. She really knows what she's about. And I think she's dedicated a lot of time and her service to her party. So she's very sure that in the near future, she would be getting a position in her government. But there was something she said that stuck with me. So she was like, I've served my party well, I've done this, I've done that, but I'm actually eyeing gender minister position. And because of that, I've made sure that I've gone back to school. I've actually finished another master's, and this time it's actually something related to the role that I'm envisioning in the future. She's also volunteered for women organizations and stuff like that, women and children organizations, and getting to understand the issues that women face from the ground up. And I was just listening to this lady, and then she went ahead and said that, but above all, what I've been doing in this space whilst I'm preparing myself for that role, is also to do research and see the current issues that women are facing, what our laws are saying. Are the laws actually protecting the women? Is it cushioning the women for economic empowerment and stuff like that? So that when I get there, I'm going to bring innovative solutions to solving some of the issues that women face. That to me was so profound. This is somebody who is looking at a position sometime in the future, preparing for that position, but then telling herself that when I get there, I'm going to make it better. It's not that I'm just going to fit in there because this is what I want. I mean, we all have ambitions, what we want to do is what we want to do. But at the end of the day, this person is preparing and also want to make sure that they make a difference when they get there. As to whether this person will get that position or not, I still feel that regardless, she would have gotten something. For all you know, she thinks she's preparing for that role. What if she's actually preparing for a global role? She doesn't even know. But the bottom line is she's doing something about it. And for you here, I know you have accepted that you want to be mentored, and that means you have a purpose, a vision, goal, ambition for your lives, and you know that this gathering of women coming together to share ideas, to empower each other, to encourage each other is a way to go. Aside from all the other things that you get out of the academy, the important thing is that you've taken this step, this role that you want to embark on. Now for us as mentors, some of us are actually mentees also. So that means we know what it is to be mentees and then what it is to be mentors. And it is an opportunity, actually a privilege. And I know that we are very excited to carry our women along. Like we said, we don't just want to tick the box and say that a woman has occupied this role. We don't want to say that this is the first woman, this first woman. And these days we hear it so much. Sometimes I feel like the racism in America, in the world. So a lot of time when the blacks get positions, every time you're reading this caption, the first black this, first black that. I'm hoping that a time will come when we'll not be saying the first this, the first that, because we'll have so many people in roles that probably they never thought they would be in. So even as we want to mentor you, even as we want to empower you, even as we want to guide you, take you on this journey with us, share our worlds with you and show you what it is like on the field, practical, I want to say that it's a privilege on behalf of my fellow mentors. It's a privilege to do this. It's an opportunity to serve. We don't want to be the first women, whatever, in certain places. We want it to be a room full of women. A time should come when you enter into a decision-making room and you have to see a lot of women there. That is what we want, and that is why we are doing what we're doing. So on behalf of my colleagues here, I'd like to say thank you so much for the opportunity to guide you on this journey. We fully accept this. I know Baba, I've known her since school. She's intelligent, she's brilliant, and there's something about her that if you get to know her and you get to tap into her knowledge and expertise, you have no idea what you're going to get. Petra, I know Petra through Obaasima. After that, I've been following her journey. She's an author. I read her social media posts. She encourages all of us every day. Sometimes you wake up and then you see a post from Petra and you're like, did God send this woman to speak to me this morning? So Petra, thank you. Even though I don't know the rest of our mentors yet, I'm really, really happy that even through this academy, we as the mentors, we are also going to form our own network. Do you know what we are even going to get out of it? So probably people think that, oh yes, we're coming to tap, but we are also going to form our own, network here and enjoy the journey as it goes. Share ideas, share opportunities, and so we are grateful for this opportunity that you're giving us to guide you on this journey. We fully accept. So on behalf of the mentors, thank you so much, and we're grateful.
Thank you, Madam Rita. Please let's do it better with so much enthusiasm. Thank you very much for accepting to mentor us. So it is only right that our mentees will also have something to say. Who's, okay. Due to time.
All right, so I must say we are very happy to be part of this family. My name is Mabel. I once introduced myself, yeah. So on behalf of all the mentees of Obaasima Academy, we'd like to say a very big thank you to the Obaasima Academy management and also our selfless mentors. God bless you so much for accepting to become our mentors, and we gladly take this. We gladly accept to be your mentors, and we'll put up our best to do whatever you ask us to do, and also to learn very well from you to shape our lives in this 21st century. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So earlier I was talking about the need to have a mentor, and I emphasized on that verse in the Bible that says, the word of the Lord is the light unto my feet and the, how does it go? Lamp unto my path. Absolutely. So it is very, very, very essential that we have mentors in our lives. Now, our next item is going to be the seminar aspect of this event. And to do this for us as a man, I didn't meet, I saw at Pan-African television about a week or two ago, I'm not too sure. And the moment he entered the premises, it was like he brought life there. You know that people have pleasing countenance, but like for a minute I'm thinking, who is this man? So I approached my colleague and he says, oh, he's a lawyer. He says, I said, interesting. Then while I was sitting there, someone asked him, oh, sir, how are you? He's like, I'm exceedingly well, like with so much enthusiasm. I'm like, who is this man? Ladies and gentlemen, this man is the man who is going to take us through our seminar session. He's in the person of Theodore Albright. He is a lawyer, a thinker, and a coach. Please let's give him a round of applause as he impacts some knowledge. Please get your pens and your papers ready. Obviously an intelligent man. Don't let the stature fool you, okay?
Thank you very much. I'm really delighted to be here. It's a real privilege. And when I was asked to join, I very quickly said yes. So let's start with this. The reason why you're being mentored is so that you become leaders in society. The reason why you're being mentored is so that you become leaders in our society. I look forward to a day when the gender of the leader makes no difference. It's no different than the color of your eyes or the color of your hair. The reason why you're being mentored is so that you become leaders in our society. And why is that? Because everything rises and falls on leadership. Hello? Everything rises and falls on leadership, and leadership rises and falls on your mindset. Hello? Everything rises and falls on leadership, and leadership rises and falls on your mindset. And so today we're going to do a little bit of mindset mapping, looking at our mindset. And I've got an acronym which I called MATHS. MATHS. M-A-T-H-S. MATHS. Or maths. You know, and the M stands for your mindset, the A stands for your attitude, the T stands for how you spend your time, the H stands for your habits, and the S stands for your system of growing or growth. Hello? So I'm just going to repeat that. Maths, all right? When everything is held constant, check your maths, your mindset, your attitude, how you spend your time, your habits, and your system for growth. Those are the critical things that I want to talk about today. So your mindset is your superpower. Your ability to think and hold a thought is your superpower. And why is that the case? You see, your mind is your interface between yourself and the universe and the world around you. Your mind is your interface between yourself and the universe around you. And because you're swimming in a sea of infinite data, it is important that you are able to shape your mind in a way negating the data that is not helpful and looking for data that is useful for your growth. So your mind is your interface between yourself and the world. And that interface is optimized on quality data. Hello? That interface is optimized on quality data. So the better the data, the better your outcomes. We're talking about cause and effect. We're talking about action and reaction. All right? So the better the data you take in, the better your outcomes. So your primary objective for your mind must be to feed it with quality information and quality data. Because the better able you are at navigating your world, that will be predicated, dependent on the quality of the data you have. So your mindset is your superpower because your mindset is your set mind. Now, let me take you back 2,000 years ago. There was a gentleman called John who walked through Galilee and baptized people in the Jordan. And his clarion call was repent. Repent. And repent in the Greek is metanoia. And metanoia means check your mindset. Check your set mind. Check your mindset. So John the Baptist's clarion call was check your mindset. You can go and read it. And then quick as a flash, his cousin comes along. And what does he say? Repent. He also says repent. So Jesus the Christ, who has 2 billion plus followers on Instagram, also had a singular message, which was repent. So both John and Jesus spoke about changing your mindset, changing your set mind. And that is what repentance was all about. And that is why the Christian message is not about doing, it's simply about accepting and believing for change. All right? So what is your mindset? When you encounter an opportunity, do you see it as a difficulty? Some of us, we have a mindset that defines everything. Chale hado, chale gana rofo. And when you speak that, it really becomes your reality. And that becomes your set mind or your mindset. let's just conduct a thought experiment for a moment. I want you to hold a thought in your head. And the thought is your favorite food. Your favorite food. So just imagine that you have your favorite food in front of you, be it banku and tilapia, jollof rice and chicken, red, gobe they call it, salad and something, ampesi and what's the, no, not in poto, but the spinach. No, they call it something else. No, when you add the pumpkin seeds. Akatwa. Okay, so just think about your favorite food for a moment. Palava sauce. Yam and palava sauce. Okay, so just think about your favorite food for a moment. All right? And immediately you have saliva in your mouth. It means that you have power in your thoughts. The way you think and the way you pronounce is powerful. Simply thinking about palava sauce and yam, banku and tilapia, you have hacked your system and you have saliva in your mouth. It means that what you think and what you say is powerful. Really powerful. So, are you, in terms of your mindset, somebody who says, chale hard or chale soft, chale cool or chale no cool? When the other lady spoke, she said, when she met Mr. Albright and asked him, or somebody asked him how he was, he simply said, exceedingly well. Not that I am always exceedingly well, but that is what I want for my life. And so that is what I claim, and that becomes my reality. So your mindset is your superpower. How you feed it is incredibly important. If you feed it with kumkum baja, the outcome will be kumkum baja. You know, there's a tragedy and that I observe. When I ask people what they are reading, 10 out of 9 times, yes, you heard right, 10 out of 9 times, people tell me they haven't read anything for a year. Yes. Now, if you haven't read anything for a year, what have you been filling your mind with for you to position yourself to compete in a fast-changing world? In October, November last year, we were all agog with the news of AI, ChatGPT. Now, please, you cannot be analog people in a digital world. Hello? You cannot be analog people in a digital world. So what are you feeding your mind? With what are you feeding your mind? And typically, tragically, when I ask ladies what they're reading, they'll tell me they're reading Jeffrey Archer, they're reading John Grisham. And while that is fun, that is no way to navigate the complex world that we live in presently. I'm not going to come down and ask you what you're reading, but you know yourselves that you haven't read a book in a year or 2 or 3 or since you left university, because you think reading stopped when you left university. And that's tragic, because it means you are not feeding your superpower to navigate the world. What's your mindset? Is it a difficulty or a learning opportunity? Are you an exploiter, an explorer, an examiner, an adventurer, a dreamer, or are you a starter or a finisher? I'm a great starter. I have lots of ideas, but I have to have people around me who help me to finish. So what are you? you must know yourself. Change. Change. You know, man, human being, is not the fastest, is not the biggest, is not the tallest, is not the strongest being. And the only reason why the caveman survived and thrived, because it was adaptable to change. How do you deal with change? Do you ignore it? Do you resist it? Do you accept it? Do you anticipate it? That's a question for you. How do you deal with change? You know, today, the 10th of February, is probably the slowest day you're ever going to experience in your lives. Tomorrow is going to be quicker. Tomorrow is going to be faster. AI, technology, platform technology, blockchain technology, augmented reality, all of those are going to change our lives. And then the question is, do you still want to be analog people in a digital world? Or are you going to change? You're getting a wonderful opportunity to be mentored by people who have life experiences. Auntie Petra was so generous. I'm not that generous. I'm not generous at all. You know, I divide the world into 3 parts. And I use these numbers, 1990. 90% of us are asleep. 9% of us are trying. Only 1% actually do. And I, unlike Auntie Petra, I only concern myself with the 1%. And so I will have no time for the 90% who are asleep. So please, wherever you find yourself, make sure you're not in the 90%. Get out of the 9% and head towards the 1%. And the 1%, they're the ones who rule the world. %1 of the world's population own about 43% of the world's wealth. What is it that they're doing that you cannot do? The top 100 people, richest people in the world, have more money and wealth than the bottom 4.3 billion people on the planet. They're doing something. Yes, you'd say they inherited. Yes, maybe they won the genetic lottery. True. But Steve Jobs didn't win the genetic lottery. Mark Zuckerberg didn't win the genetic lottery. Sergey, whatever his name is for Google, didn't win the genetic lottery. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they didn't inherit anything. They created out of their minds. Zero, ex nihilo. When you read Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was void. And when it says created out of nothing, ex nihilo. These people created out of nothing. Nothing. And what does the Bible go on to say? It says, and he blessed them and said, be fruitful, multiply. Hold on a minute. In God's economy, it's not addition, it's multiplication. Hello? And he sowed a seed, and that seed reaped 100-fold. So in God's economy, we're looking at 10x, 100x, 1,000x. And by dint of your mentoring schemes, you have the capacity, relentless study, relentless growth, relentless knowledge acquisition, wisdom acquisition, to become 100, 1,000, 10,000-fold. But it's up to you. How do you grow your mind? How do you feed your mind? Change. It's an attitudinal choice. You ignore it, you resist it, you accept it, or you anticipate it. To thrive like man, there are three key attributes. We talked about change. And the caveman was able to change and survive and rule because, one, it was adaptable. Hello? It was adaptable. Two, it was curious. Three, it was creative. And as a result, the caveman went from creating fire, creating farms, domesticating animals, to sending a rocket to the moon. All of that was because of adaptability. My question to you is, how adaptable are you? How curious are you? How creative are you? And frankly, to succeed, these three qualities are cardinal to your success. Adaptability, curiosity, and creativity. Now, if you are not adaptable, some people are so stiff, they'll rather break than bend. They'll rather die than change. If you're not curious, you will not feed your mind with quality information in order to combat the rapid technological change that is taking place. And without curiosity and adaptability, there will be no creativity. Everything you see in this room came out of somebody's mind. How curious are you? How adaptable are you? Next, the reason why you're being mentored is to become leaders. But the leader is the person who is the hero or heroine of her own story. So I'm going to tell you a story. When my mother took the GCE or exams to go to secondary school, my grandfather, who was a courtier in Shantihine's court, palace, said, and I'm going to speak Twi and I'll translate it. Hello? As for women, if you take them to school, they will go and get pregnant. So they sent my mother to St. Louis or St. Louis in Kumasi. And she went on to become the school prefect of that school in her year. But I'll tell you this. Of all the people I know, and I've met personally, there is none wiser than my mother. None wiser than my mother. So I always try and introduce women folk to my mother because she's incredibly wise. And because of that, I spend a lot of time with her. So I am the product of my mother. And I'm hoping that in 20 years' time or 30 years' time, there will be men and women standing on this stage saying, I am the product of my mother. And that would be as a result of you being receptive, growing your mind, changing, adapting, being creative for your children to follow the breadcrumbs that you leave on the floor for them to adapt. So you're being groomed to become leaders. But who is a leader? And I have my own definition, and a leader is simply this: a person who influences, inspires, and informs himself, herself to think better, to do better, to be better for positive impact and positive outcomes. I repeat, a person, because I'm in a room full of women, a woman who influences and inspires and informs herself to think better, to do better, to be better for positive impact and positive outcomes. It means that if you are a leader and your outcomes are chaotic or not positive, then you have misled. Hello? So whenever you see order, you know there's leadership, or there's leadership thinking. And whenever you see disorder or chaos, you know there is no leadership. So when you apply that equation to any environment, let's start with your bedroom. You didn't make your bed. The bed is chaotic. It means you have not shown leadership in that particular room. Let's go to your house. The house is dirty. It means you have not shown leadership in that house. Let's come to your country. If it's chaotic, it means I'm just going to leave you to guess. All right? So how, as a leader, do you minimize the chaos? You minimize the chaos in your life, in your home, in your family, in your environment, in your country, by one, anticipating potential chaos. This morning, I was in Sunyani. I went there for a program. The program finished yesterday. I couldn't catch a flight back because there's only one flight from Sunyani to Accra. So I got on the flight this morning. I was in the lobby in the hotel waiting for the shuttle. And the longer I waited, the more agitated I became. And I didn't want a chaotic situation where I get to the airport and miss my flight. So I had to stand up and take charge and order a shuttle to take me to the airport. I didn't want a situation where I got to the airport only to miss my flight. It would have meant maybe staying over, missing this program, and coming tomorrow. So you need to anticipate potential chaos and arrest it. But when you find yourself in the midst of the chaos, you have to assess the chaos, avoid the obvious risks, accept what you can, adapt, and then align. Hello? So you see, you're getting acceptance, avoidance, but adaptability to change is critical. It is critical. I'm going to leave you with this. If you successfully go through this program, you will become the heroes of your own story, the heroines of your own story. Truth be told, it should never be that you're defined by your gender. Rather, it should be that you're defined by your impact. Hello? You should never be defined by your gender, but you should be defined by your impact. And so my question to you is, how am I, as a leader, because you're already a leader, going to impact my world? And the bigger the dream, the greater the impact. The bigger your dream, the greater the impact. But you cannot have impact without a vision for your life. So what is the best picture of yourself in 10 years' time? What is the vision that you have for yourself in 10 years' time? What is your purpose for making a difference? How do you think you will make that difference? Where do you think you will make that difference? Ladies and a few gentlemen, let me say this. You have the capacity, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 12 men. One was lettered, Matthew. The rest were semi-lettered. Were able to turn the world upside down or right side up. You have the privilege of all the knowledge and mentors here to be reckoned among the pantheon of those who impact our world. I'm not even talking about Ghana, nor am I talking about Africa. I'm saying that you have the capacity and the ability to impact your world. If only you will do this. You will feed your mind. You will mind your mind. You will mine your mind and grow your mind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Does the clap translate to how you feel? Does it translate? Like, yeah. I wanted to give me that meaning. Thank you so much, Mr. Theodore Albright. I mean, it was giving me some Miles Monroe vibes, you know, adding the Bible verses, the Bible stories, and the striking part for me was the very fact that we shouldn't be defined by our gender, but by our impact. Very, very profound. And it's a call to action for all of us. It also reminds me of a quote I saw of Anita Eskin some time back, where she captioned her post that we shouldn't be given opportunities because we are women, but we should be given opportunities because we are capable. And so this is basically in line with what Mr. Theodore Albright just gave us. Please let's give it up for him one more time. People are paying huge sums of money to get these nuggets of wisdom, and we are getting it for free. And my lady in the back isn't smiling. Okay. All right. So once again, we'd like to appreciate everybody for turning out to today's event. Thank you so much to our mentors, for making time of their busy schedules to be here. As Auntie Amma said, they are very busy people. And obviously, Mr. Theodore had to sacrifice to get here on time to share with us this wisdom. And to you, the mentees, thank you too for availing yourself and for submitting yourself, to direction and guidance. Very, very necessary. We'll be wrapping up shortly, but before that, I'll give you the opportunity if anybody would like to ask a question or give a submission or addition, deduction, addition, multiplication. Okay, so I'm being directed to the woman who I have to go and explain a lot of things to very soon.
How did this happen?
Auntie Amma, she nominated you.
I should have known. It's just been amazing, being here and listening to all of you and Rita and everyone. Amma is my cousin. She's biologically older than me, but I call her little sister for obvious reasons. And I'm just happy to be here and to have the opportunity to mentor you. As a lecturer, I speak to a lot of young people on a daily basis. And so some of the things that you were saying, I've heard them over and over again. And the challenges that young people go through, the ones that I went through, and the ones that you are going through now, they are normal. They are to be appreciated. And I always say that I also run a business, so I also have young people there. And I always say that they shouldn't become a reflection of who we are, because everybody has their own path. Okay, and so identifying where you want to go. And it's okay if you even don't know where you want to go. It's fine. You don't have to figure your life out, by the time you are done with uni. And that is why guidance is important. And that is why we are here. So the support we are giving you, you don't have to make up. You don't have to try to be somebody else. But then how do you get that support that will guide you to the points that you want to be? I have a young man in our staff right now at Mahogany who is Petra's mentor, and he made a few, mistakes along the way before he landed at Mahogany. And I remember after his first 2 interviews, I called Petra and I said, Petra, this young man, what do you really think of him? Should we consider him for employment? And he doesn't know. I called her, but she's my friend. I know her, so I did call her. And she didn't say, Baba, go ahead and hire him. But she gave me all the reasons why I probably would want to consider hiring him. And today he's part of my team, and anyway, he's doing a fantastic job. So opportunities come in so many ways, and I am just looking forward to all the opportunities that we'll all get, like Rita said, I'm meeting you and I'm learning from you, and I'm learning still from my little sister and from Petra and everybody. So please, let's keep on doing this, and thank you so much for your submission. Thank you.
Very well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Mr. Albright, my question is actually to you. You started talking about math, but I think you stayed at M. Do you have have you finished it on a platform? Is there somewhere we can go to get the rest of the content?
I've got content which I'll share.
Okay.
But the A is attitude, and attitude towards change. The T is how we spend our time. Ladies and gentlemen, your time is your most precious asset. And quite often, because we celebrate our time with birthdays, we only check our time every 8,670 hours, which is about a year. When in fact, you ought to be checking your time like every 30 minutes, 60 minutes, every day, kwata, every week, you should be reflecting. And can you imagine if you reflected every week? That's 52 times as opposed to one time on your birthday and maybe New Year's Eve when you have your New Year's resolutions. So maybe twice, you do that twice a year as opposed to 52 times a year. The H is our habits. You know, our habits define us. And your habit is what you do regularly. And so we are habit creatures, or we are creatures of habit. If you don't like where you are, then you need to check, one, your thinking, and two, your habits. All right? So if your outcomes are suboptimal, then it means that your thinking and your actions are suboptimal. Because suboptimal thinking can never give you optimized outcomes. All right? Suboptimal actions will never give you optimized outcomes. But you have a chance, if you have optimized thinking, optimized doing, to get partially optimized outcomes. So your mindset, your attitude, you know, when the lady stood up, she said, you're at the back and you're not smiling. Look, when you smile, you release dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Those give you a natural high. So why squeeze your face like a grada? Please. And you know, if a woman, let me tell you this, smiling and laughter are positive currencies. It is a language everybody understands. And so when you frank your face, I'm an Ashanti, when you frown, it conveys a message. And that message is not positive. And that message is not positive to the world. And that message is not positive for yourself. Because when you frown, you release adrenaline and cortisol. And they course through your veins. And they will give you a heart attack. So for heaven's sake, all right? So your habits will define you. And then lastly, you need to have a strategy or a system. If you give me 2 minutes, I'll share mine. I wake up at 3:45 in the morning most mornings. I go straight to the kitchen. I make myself a coffee, a tea, or lemon water. I try and do some exercise, and then I spend some time reflecting, and then I spend some time investing in my mind. Okay? By reading a quality book or quality books. When I sat next to Rita, she asked me, said, do you still have all of those books? And my response to Rita was, I have more. I mean, on my journey to Sunyani, I got to the bookshop, Blue Knight, and there were hundreds of lovely books, but I ended up buying 4. Last year, I bought about 1 book for every day. The year before, I bought about 1.5 books for every day. The year before that, I bought about 2 books for every day. Yes, do the math. So if it's 365 times 2, yes, that's what I did. That's what I bought. Simply so that I could read quality information to grow my mind to share with you. So have a system. I wake up in the morning, 3:45. I go to the kitchen. I do my exercise. I do my reflections. I write in my journal. I do my readings, quality readings. I do a little bit of quiet time. And all of that before 8:30 when I have my first huddle, and then 9 o'clock I start work. All right? Have a system. Please switch off the Instagram. It is killing you. switch off the Facebook. Some people, the only book they read is Facebook. And, and please, mentors, shut your ears. I'm going to share something with the sisters here. The higher your quality, the better the man you get. The higher your quality, the better the man you get. You have better options if you're a high quality chick. Hello? You have better options if you're a high quality chick. And you are able to call the shots if you're a high quality chick. And you might be the prettiest thing on Mother Earth. You might be Eve's daughter. But when you have intelligence it is an aphrodisiac for a man. I'm telling you something. Are you fearing it? Are you fearing it? So please don't spend your time on Facebook. As for Instagram, it's all fake. Once they do the touch-up, fake bag, fake Le Bouton, fake Hermes, fake Kelly, fake Birkin. Bloody hell. It's all fake. Put yourself in a position where you can buy the real deal. And you do that by growing your mind. Please, grow your mind.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Esquire. Now you agree that big things come in small packages. Do you agree? Do you agree? How do you agree? I'm coming to you. How do you agree?
Okay, actually, looking at one of our mentors' teacher, you agree that he being short or excuse me, he being short, you might think that it doesn't contain any big thing to tell us. But upon hearing what he said, we can agree that he's a very great man.
Thank you very much. But he's not short. He's cute. Yes. Yeah.
Hello. Good afternoon. It's good to see all of you here today. And to all the women, great women seated here, thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much. No, I like to be here today. So thank you so much for supporting this beautiful initiative. I really, really, really enjoyed your presentation up there. And almost all the things you said, I share in all the things you said. And fortunately, I have people who can attest to that. Rita, seated by you, is a very good friend of mine. We work together. And so almost all the people here can attest to everything that you said here is something that we all agree to. For them, they are very fortunate. I envy them. This is not the first time I'm telling them. The other time when I had the opportunity to moderate the event at Pan-African Television, I think I told them that I really, really envy them. And I wish that we also had people to walk us through. They are very fortunate. This is better than money in a bag, because people have money or monies in bags and they don't even know what to do with them. But if you have nuggets of wisdom, you are taught how to apply it. And that alone can pave way for you, and it can take you to everywhere. And that is the story of my life. I tell them when I started diplomatic affairs, I hadn't even studied, taken any course in international relations and diplomacy. And it's the truth. Everybody here knows that. But with time, I realized that it was important that I acquired some knowledge, because that's the space I have chosen to own. And once I knew I was going to do it and do it better, it wasn't enough to be absent from the classroom, and just go with a journalistic, approach. So for me, I like the fact that they are here. You talked about attitude. Who are they following on Instagram? Who are they following on social media? We follow the wrong people for all kinds of reasons. We consume the wrong information because they are living soft life on people's budget. So the day there is no more budget for you, that's the day you go down and you are exposed. So I am happy you touched on attitude, and I'm very sensitive when it comes to attitude. For me, every space I find myself, it has to be the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, I can't even work with you, because in a way, I am like, I take whatever, I take that energy with me, and I like to have the right attitude to get me going. So I really appreciate the fact that you took the podium and you touched on all the right things for them. So you guys are so fortunate and blessed to have him and all the other people who have mounted the platform today. So make good use of it. And please, for me, it's about social media. Who are you following? What are you feeding your mind? That is the first thing we see. It's not even about the dress you wear or how spontaneous and beautiful you look, your makeup and these hairs that we've borrowed. It is not about it. But it's about knowledge, information consumption. Who are you consuming it from? You can be stylish and elegant. If you are dumb, you are dumb. You will be exposed, trust me, unless you don't find yourself in the right place. If you find yourself amongst the right people, you will be exposed.
Yeah, exchange rates will expose you, yeah.
When we are talking about current affairs, you have zero knowledge. You don't know what is happening in the world of international relations, global affairs, even your own country. You are not following. National issues of interest, you are not following. Yet you are following people who are on Instagram and they are showing you pictures from their flights and all of the things. My dear, be very honest with yourself.
Thank you very much, Harriet. Please let's give it up for Harriet. Harriet is the host of Diplomatic Affairs on Pan-African Television.
All right, thank you very much. In fact, I've really learned from the speech and whatever you've educated us on. And then I've come to realize that it's very key that what you feed your mind. You know, I'm talking from the mental health perspective, and the fact that I'm an advocate for suicide prevention. And you'll be asking yourself why. Because at a point in my life where my dad was nowhere, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to just take my life, even though I was a daddy's girl. So imagine. And then at a point, I realized that no, there's more to life than just taking my life. And I decided to follow what I wanted to do. Like you're saying, the people you follow is very important. The people you speak to is very important. So with all these things has, brought me this far. So as youth, yes, it's all nice when you see us all dressed up and all that. But there are processes in life that we need to go through. Without that, you won't have a story. Okay, you need to get a message so that you can have a story to share. He has a story. Why? Because the mother impacted in his life. What story will you be sharing if you also have a platform? So enjoy the process, allow the process, and go through it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. We have received so much wisdom today. And with the issue of attitude, it is very, very important and key. Zig Ziglar said that it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. And so, my Esquire, I'm so sorry. So please, I'm giving the mic to
Thank you,
Auntie
Council,
Elsie.
for sharing so much knowledge and information with us. I just wanted to touch a bit on what he said on time management. For me, time is one of the best resources that one can ever have. You did not pay for it. I realized that about 10 or 12 years ago when I got a client who was paying me hourly rates. They contacted me to do some work for them, and they said, you know, Elsie, we will be paying you per the number of hours and minutes you work with us. And I said, okay. They said, make an offer for us. And I said, oh, okay. The nature of the job, just make your offer for my consideration. And these guys sent me an offer on hourly and minute basis in US dollars. And since then, when you invite me, I I look at so for me, there is nothing like a Ghanaian time. I'm super booked. So when I have an invitation from you, I take. Oh, please, sorry, I have this other engagement. Can I come at this time? Because I don't want to come to your event and wait for you 2 hours before you start the thing. Because I am paid per the minutes and hours I engage. So for me, in my diary, and you are so blessed to have somebody like Theodore come and sit with you to share these nuggets with you. I made more notes today. And I felt that Amma brought me here for the right thing. So if you are here and you did not make notes, then you are cheating yourself and the system. There should not be a Ghanaian time. 8 a.m. is 8 a.m. 10 a.m. is 10 a.m. So if you are a mentee, you've been given 10 a.m., you come and wait for your mentors and people. And that does not give us mentors to abuse the times that we are given. Just an addition, because you can actually make a lot of money when you are conscious and you respect your time. That's how people respect you.
Please, let's do it better. Indeed, we are blessed. Please keep clapping. Oh, more. Okay, there's more.
I feel I have to do this. You might not do justice to it. I'm sorry, Rahima. I have to say a special thank you to you, Mr. Albright. And he's Albright in name.
Yeah.
It's something we joke about, right? Both his names are very meaningful to him. The Theo. He says, "What's my name?" I say Theo, right? And then he's also Mr. Albright. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is one man who says he has no time to spare, because he doesn't spare his life. His time is his life. So for us to have him move from Sunyani this morning to come all the way here, rush from the airport to get here, and to sit with us for this whole time, I won't wait for him to say thank you. I want to say thank you myself. So grateful. So grateful. I have to say that oftentimes, and I've had the privilege of hosting him on my show a few times, and people ask me, the things he says, does he mean them? Does he do them? Yes. I'll share 2 things with you. We're having a conversation in my office, and, he asked me if I write in my books. So somehow it came up about writing in books. He says, "Amma, wait for me." He goes back to his car. He brings a library. And then he shows me the books that he's read. And I was saying to him that he needs to go back and pay again, and perhaps pay 3 times the price that he paid for the books, because he has abused the book, right? He's written in red, green, blue. Mind you, every pen has a meaning. The things he's written in red have a meaning. The things he's written in blue have a meaning. So, and I'll say this too. There was one dawn, when I was up and I replied to something that he had said, and instantly he replied. I was like, okay, so when he says he wakes up at 3, he really does wake up at 3. So please, I don't take him for granted. I have him in my life. I'm keeping him in my pocket, right? No. Let's understand that he's for me first, and all of you second. But thank you so much. God bless you. I appreciate this.
Thank you. All right, we are way behind time. But before we wrap up, finally, I'd like to acknowledge our production team from Pan African Television. Please, let's give it up for the guys at the back. And we'd like to say a very big thank you to Airport View Hotel for hosting us, and also some, media persons here. Harriet is here. She's the host of Diplomatic Affairs. Makiza is here. She's a Pan-African Television news anchor and a broadcaster. Auntie Amma is also here. I will want not to be saying the auntie thing, but I can't stop. I just can't refrain from it. And I'm also here. I've been your moderator. My name is Ohema Echan Ajekum. And I hope to... Please say again. Yeah, she will. She will. We want to say thank you so much to Esquire, Council, Theodore, I want to be like you when I grow up. Absolutely, absolutely. Auntie Rita, Auntie Baba, Auntie Petra, Auntie Elsie, Auntie... Now we're going to modify. It's going to be called Hante. Hante. All right, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Words can't convey what my heart wants to say. This is one of the opportunities that I cherish so much because I share in the vision of whatever that is, or in the vision of Auntie Amma and the objective of, you know, all that is going on here. Thank you so much. And to just, you know, sum it all up, I will invite Hante Elsie. Please, let's give it up for her as she gives us a closing remark.
Thank you very much. I was telling myself, like joke, I've become an auntie. Please, we are still very young. We don't want to grow old. Please, don't push me to become, but please, it's a great thing to be old. It's great to be old because it comes with a lot of experience. So maybe I'll consider the hunting. All right. I think we've had a very good day. I am so blessed. I love the time that I've spent here. I've learned a lot, and I'm waiting to engage with a number of you, because for me, networking, it's one of the best resources that you can use. I shared a testimony or an experience early part of this year where a former colleague of mine, even though we had no mentor-mentee relationship, the cleaner in my office became a very good friend of mine. And that is one thing I do wherever I go to work. Cleaners, security people, and workers at that level are people I associate with. Sometimes you help them here and there. They ask you for guidance here and there. Why am I sharing this story? It's about networking. You don't know who is sitting next to you. You are here to start a mentor-mentee relationship, a journey. You don't know whom you've met in this room that can be a blessing to you. Just this year, I think around the 3rd or 4th of January, at my first board meeting, I missed a number of calls, which is very usual of me. So I picked up the call and I started calling people back. Then there was a very unusual call that I missed so many times. So I called back and said, "Oh, Ma, you don't remember me. I was this person, so and so and so here." I said, "Oh, yes." So we started laughing. I thought the guy was going to ask me, Christmas and New Year, where is my rice? Because normally I donate those things to people. He said, "Madam, you know your son, my son that you pay school fees for, he now works with an international organization. And they are looking for somebody to do A, B, C, D, and E for them. Please, can I give your number to them?" And I said, "Why not? We've been friends, so just give my number." You'll be amazed. Within a minute, the company called me, and this is one of the biggest mining companies in the world, situated in America. And they gave me a contract that is mind-blowing. So your angel can be a cleaner. Your angel can be a security man. Your angel can be your mentor. Your angel can be your mentee. I want to say a very big thank you to the Obaasima Academy for fulfilling purpose. Because when you learn and unlearn, you must impact your society. And more importantly, lay foundation for the future generation. So what we are doing here is not a joke. What we are doing, we could be sleeping. I think my learned friend and brother, Theodore, after coming from Sunyani, he would have just gone home. If he has nothing, at least he will read a book or two. But he's here to share knowledge and time with you. So please, to my friends who are offering themselves to be mentored, this is not a joke. I see you as a blessing to me. I'm looking forward greatly to see the number of people that I will engage and start a new journey with, because I see in you angels. The learnings today were very brilliant. My sister Petra laid the foundation and how the relationship could be, how it can be. It's mutual.
It should be mutually beneficial. You are not just learning from the mentor, but we mentors are also open to learn a lot from you. The generation you find yourself in, I say, is unique, but it's going to be more unique than this. Today, at my HR company, we put up a post for a job for Ghanaians. Before you wake up, you have thousands and hundreds of Indians, Chinese, all manner of people applying for these jobs. The power of the phone, the power of the internet. Please, you can use it well. My brother said something, that there are people, the only books they read is Facebook. That can be true, but it also depends on what you are feeding yourself with. The same Facebook can give you a lot of opportunities. I sell homes, and the number of people who buy my homes, it's on Facebook or on my website. I don't spend too much money on television adverts, because how many people are watching it anyway? So you can focus and get the best from the internet. It's all about your mindset. It's all about what you think about. There are a lot of articles also on LinkedIn, for instance. There are articles. There are things to read. But not to belittle the point, what you feed your mind with becomes your reality. And my sisters have spoken from the mental health perspective, from the academia. They have shared their experience with us. I was part of a mentorship journey that we had to, that's about 2008. We paid money. Sometimes you don't pay yourself. Vital Voices. I was one of the privileged people to be mentored under the Vital Voices program of the U.S. government. I didn't pay, but the U.S. government paid. There is no free lunch on earth. If you today you are here for free, but someone is paying. Auntie Ama, is the hall free? No, even if the hall is free, there will be somebody paying electricity. So for me in my life, there's nothing free. If you haven't paid, doesn't mean that it's not been paid for. So let us make the best out of every opportunity that life presents to us. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us to fulfill purpose.
Thank you very much, Hante. Please let's give it up for her one more time. So this is where we draw curtain on this, memorable parts of our journey. I want to remind you that this isn't anything to be taken for granted. And when we began, I quoted something that I would also want you to, ponder over. And it is a quote by an ancient philosopher called Hillel. And he said, if I am not for myself, then who will be for me? But if I am for myself, then who am I? If not now, then when? So if you're not for yourself as a mentee, who will be for you? Because every other thing is subject to you and you only. Everything that you want to be is within. You have to activate it for it to blossom. And if our mentors are for just themselves, they have seen it, they came, they saw, they conquered, and they are just keeping it to themselves, to their graves, then who are they? And if not now, the very right time for us to exchange, for us to tap, for us to draw, for us to consume isn't now, then when? Let us think about this. And it has been amazing. Please give it up for yourselves. On behalf of the Obaasima Academy, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for making it. And this is going to be aired on Pan-African television. We are truly African. We are watching 46 African countries, some parts of South America and Europe, and we're also across the length and breadth of Ghana. Thank you once again. Please give it up for yourselves.